Discover the fascinating history of Mongolia. From its origin as a powerful empire to its current modernization, this country has gone through countless transformations over the centuries. What we can tell you is that there is not much population in these lands. In fact, there are more horses than people. And if we talk about sheep, there are 35 sheep for every person. Join us on a journey through time and discover the best-kept secrets of this ancient culture. We will tell you something very peculiar that they do with horses, but stay until the end of the video to learn that and more interesting facts about this country. Meanwhile, join us to tour the lands where ice cream was invented. Mongolia's imperial history is fascinating and full of intriguing events that have shaped the identity and culture of this great country. From the founding of the Mongol Empire by Genghis Khan in the 13th century to the expansion under the rule of his successors such as Kublai Khan, Mongolia has witnessed great conquests and imperial glories. The military and strategic skill of the Mongol leaders allowed them to conquer vast territories and establish one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Eastern Europe to Eastern Asia. The influence of the Mongol Empire was felt in all areas, from politics to culture, leaving a lasting legacy that is still felt in modern Mongolian society. Mongolia's imperial history is a testament to the power and greatness of this nation, which continues to inspire and amaze millions of people around the world. There is a theory that Mongolian horsemen were the first to invent ice cream. They carried animal intestines on long journeys. The combination of freezing and being shaken on the horse produced an ice cream-like substance. This then made its way to China, Marco Polo, and then Italy. What do you think? But this fact is not as impressive as the fact that the Mongols do not have a surname. Mongols only have one name throughout their lives and do not have a surname, but rather use patronymics. For example, if Dorj had a father named Bayar, he would be called Bayar in Dorj. And if Dorj had a daughter Naran, she would be called Dorj Ayn Naran. Fortunately, to avoid confusion with the foreign naming convention model passport, patronymics are now used as a temporary surname. This is an example of what Dorj's family would look like when submitting their details for a holiday abroad. And if we talk about names, the name Mongolia derives from the word Mongolian, which refers to the predominant ethnicity in the region. The term Mongolian is believed to come from the word Mong, which means brave or heroic in the Mongolian language. Additionally, the name Mongolia also has its roots in the history of the Mongol Empire, founded by Genghis Khan in the 13th century. This empire was one of the largest in history, stretching from East Asia to Eastern Europe. The influence of the Mongols in the region left an indelible mark on Mongolian history and identity. It is indisputable that this country has a lot of history. In fact, they have the oldest national park in the world, and it is called Bogd-Khan Uul. It predates Yellowstone National Park by more than 100 years. Best of all, it's located in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar, so you don't have to go too far to take a hike and cross it off your bucket list. And since we mentioned its capital, we will take advantage of saying that the majority of its inhabitants live there, but what these people are accustomed to is a nomadic life. The nomadic lifestyle of the Mongols is a traditional way of life in which people are constantly moving in search of pasture for their herds of horses, sheep, and camels. This practice has been an integral part of Mongolian culture for centuries and has played an important role in forming their identity as a people. The Mongols are known for their ability to adapt to different environments and climatic conditions, which has allowed them to survive in the harsh steppes of Central Asia. This lifestyle has shaped the way they think and act, fostering a strong sense of community and solidarity among members of the tribe. Despite technological advances and social changes, many Mongolians continue to maintain their nomadic lifestyle, preserving ancient traditions and respecting nature. Through their constant movement, the Mongolians have developed a deep knowledge of their environment and have learned to live in harmony with nature. In terms of language, the official language of Mongolia is Mongolian, and it is a language of the Altaic family, spoken mainly in Mongolia and some parts of China and Russia. It is an agglutinative language, which means that words are formed by adding different suffixes and prefixes to express complex meanings. Another interesting feature is that Mongolian has a unique writing system called Traditional Mongolian Script, which is written from top to bottom and left to right. Additionally, the Mongolian language has different levels of politeness in its vocabulary, which means that different verb forms and pronouns are used depending on the level of respect you want to show towards the other person. Genghis Khan himself was illiterate. However, he introduced the first writing system to Mongolia in the early 13th century. He borrowed this script from the Uyghur script. This script is written vertically from left to right. But speaking about the country itself today, Mongolia's economic situation has experienced ups and downs in recent years. The country has traditionally depended on agriculture and mining, especially the coal and copper sector. However, the Mongolian economy has been affected by the volatility of raw material prices on the international market. Furthermore, lack of economic diversification and over-reliance on specific sectors have led to uneven economic growth. Despite having abundant natural resources, Mongolia still faces challenges in terms of infrastructure, corruption, governance, and political stability. The Mongolian government has implemented measures to boost foreign investment, improve governance, and promote economic diversification. Despite efforts, the Mongolian economy remains vulnerable to external shocks and fluctuating commodity prices. But one trade would be their horses, which are the only horses that are truly wild. Mongolian horses cost thousands of US dollars due to the popularity of horse racing, and Mongolian men flaunt their fast, handsome steeds. The champion horse of the Naadam State Festival horse race costs the most, between $245,000 and $280,000. Horses born from the same mare or parent horse as the champion horses cost between $35,000 and $70,000, even if they have not won a race. Naadam provincial champions cost between $7,000 and $14,000, while normal horses for transportation and daily work cost approximately $530. And not only that is done with horses, but they also make horsehead violin, and this is called morin kur, which is the national musical instrument of Mongolia. It has a wooden horse head with strings made from real horsetail hair. The strings are made from stallion and mare hair to create a unique sound. It is included in UNESCO's list of masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity, which means it is great, and you should listen to it and buy it as a souvenir when you travel to Mongolia. Regarding its climate, Mongolia is a country located in East Asia and is characterized by having an extreme continental climate. Winters are long and cold, with temperatures that can reach minus 40 degrees Celsius in some regions. On the other hand, summers are short and hot, with temperatures that can exceed 30 degrees Celsius. The lack of maritime influence causes Mongolia to experience sudden temperature changes between day and night, especially in spring and autumn. Additionally, weather conditions can be highly variable in different regions of the country, as Mongolia has a diverse geography that includes mountains, deserts, and steppes. Precipitation is generally scarce, being more abundant in the western and mountainous regions. Snow is common during the winter months and can accumulate considerably in some areas. This can be seen in its landscapes that seem straight out of a story. The best time to travel to Mongolia is between May and September. During these months, the temperatures are more pleasant and the landscape is green. As for gastronomy, if you're vegan, it's probably best to stay away from the Mongolian countryside. In the countryside, there are only three things: meat, dairy products, and wheat flour. Some of the typical dishes include booz, a type of steamed dumpling filled with lamb, and korkhog, a lamb stew cooked in an iron pot with vegetables and hot stones. As for drinks, sute tsai is a traditional tea drink with milk and salt that is usually served with bread and butter. You can also try arag, a fermented drink made from mare's milk. Remember that if you want to learn more information about these tourist destinations, you can watch more videos on our channel, such as the video where we talk about Madagascar and its peculiar traditions, which sometimes include tourists. See you in a next video.